Everyone knows that Apple makes billions of dollars selling expensive iPhones. But what if I told you that there was a Chinese company, Xiaomi, that makes iPhone quality phones at just a fraction of the price? In this video, we're going to look at how they're able to do this and why their business strategy might just be able to compete with that of Apple. Founded in 2010 by CEO Lei Jun, Xiaomi is a Chinese tech company that quickly rose to fame selling high-quality phones at an affordable price. Now, what's important to understand about Xiaomi is that they aren't some cheap Chinese knockoff company. They're actually committed to making a solid product. And this is pretty well reflected in the story of their first ever phone release. So while they were developing their phone, they were using the highest quality chip. But right before they were about to launch their phone, a new line of chips came out that would have made their phone second tier. Now, if they really were just some cheap knockoff company, they would have just released the phone, right? But instead what they did was they delayed the phone launch and scrapped $600,000 of inventory so that their phone could have the best possible chip on the market. At the time of this release, the iPhone was selling for $615 in China. Xiaomi sold their phone for only $315. Within 33 hours, their entire product was sold out. Now, if Xiaomi really is selling such high quality phones at a low price, how are they making money? Apple has incredible margins. At 36% gross margin, Apple makes around $360 on an $1,000 phone purchase. If they had the same margins as Xiaomi, they would only make around $120 on this same purchase. This is why Apple is so successful. Because of their premium brand and marketing, they're able to charge luxury level prices for their goods. So how can a company like Xiaomi compete with this? Economists will tell you that if you lower your price, that you'll sell at a higher quantity. But in quarter 2 of 2025, Apple sold 46 million phones, while Xiaomi only sold 42 million. And while that's pretty high, it's clear that Apple's brand image is so strong that even at a lower price, people still would prefer to buy iPhones. So if you can't outsell them or charge more, what can you do? Apple has a couple of products aside from the iPhone, such as the Apple Watch, AirPods, Apple TV, and so on. Xiaomi has hundreds. This is actually part of their core strategy. Instead of building a bunch of these products themselves, Xiaomi will invest in new entrepreneurs and startups and wrap them under the Xiaomi umbrella. All of these products are then integrated under the Xiaomi Home app where users can add and manage their products. They've created this entire dominance over the home space, managing everything like air purifiers, ovens, and even your toothbrush. This is part of the reason that Xiaomi can get away with charging so little for their phones. Once they have you as a customer, you're more likely to join their ecosystem and start buying other smart home products. And in fact, this is actually their fastest growing part of their business, with 44% growth over the last year. What makes this even better for Xiaomi is it leads to the possibility of high margin internet services. For both Apple and Xiaomi, internet services are the highest margin product they sell at 75% gross margin for both companies. With over 950 million smart devices connected to Xiaomi's Internet of Things, this could lead to some pretty serious revenue if monetized properly. Now, this is not to say that Xiaomi hasn't faced its share of challenges. In 2021, the CEO Lei Jun received a call that the US had sanctioned Xiaomi. This meant that Xiaomi could no longer sell phones in the US. This would be a devastating blow for most companies, but instead he took it as a chance to pivot and explore a new market: electric vehicles. In 2021, Xiaomi announced its plans for an electric vehicle program. And now, just 4 years later, the SU7 is outselling Tesla's Model Y in China. In fact, the car was so impressive that when the CEO of Ford drove it, he admitted that he didn't want to give it back. This is just another key area of growth for Xiaomi, and it shows that even in the face of geopolitical uncertainty, they're not only willing but able to adapt to change. Xiaomi probably won't beat Apple anytime soon when it comes to selling smartphones. With their strong brand image and luxury-like pricing, Apple really does dominate the market. But with their vast ecosystem and bold bets on EVs, Xiaomi has proven they're more than just a budget alternative.